English talking practice. Alex often felt a heavy silence in group settings. He longed to join conversations, especially when others spoke in fluent English. His mind raced with ideas, but his tongue remained stubbornly tied. The thought of English talking practice terrified him. He wondered how to speak with people confidently, like the speakers he greatly admired. This feeling was a persistent barrier. He meticulously observed how other people talk in English. They seemed to flow effortlessly, their words forming coherent thoughts. Alex would listen and practice silently in his head, but the transition to actual speech felt impossible. He desperately sought the best way to learn English, hoping for a magic formula to unlock his voice quickly. Every morning, he'd promise himself, "Today, I will take the first step for talking." Yet, the words stayed trapped. He knew listening was crucial. Listening and practice went hand in hand. But practicing aloud brought an intense fear of judgment. He yearned to know how to think and speak English naturally, without endless translation. His frustration grew daily as he consumed English media. Podcasts, movies, and songs filled his ears. He could understand a lot, but replicating the sound, the rhythm, the actual spoken word proved incredibly challenging. He understood the theory behind how to improve your English, yet practical application eluded him completely. He realized passive consumption wasn't enough for true progress. The way of learning English needed to be active, engaged, and perhaps even uncomfortable. He needed to push past his mental blocks and confront his biggest fear: speaking. This was the undeniable truth he had to face head-on. One rainy afternoon, browsing a dusty bookstore, he stumbled upon an old language learning guide. It emphasized why reading is so important for language acquisition, not just for vocabulary, but for understanding sentence structure, common idioms, and narrative flow. This was a revelation he hadn't fully appreciated. Alex started reading everything he could find in English. Simple articles, short stories, then gradually more complex novels. He noticed how new words started to appear naturally in his thoughts. Reading expanded his mental library, providing ammunition for when he eventually started his English talking practice journey seriously. The book also stressed the importance of active listening, not just hearing, but truly dissecting how other people talk in English. He began paying attention to intonation, pauses, and even mispronunciations. This deep analysis became a crucial part of his new, focused way of learning English. He started shadowing, repeating phrases immediately after native speakers on videos. This simple act felt awkward initially, but it was a crucial how to take first step for talking. He wasn't speaking to anyone, just practicing the physical act of forming English words with his mouth, getting comfortable with the sounds. Slowly, very slowly, his mouth began to feel less alien. He noticed a subtle shift in his pronunciation. This English talking practice was tiring but showed promise. He understood that continuous, repetitive engagement with the language was the best way to learn English for him, moving beyond mere theoretical knowledge. Next, he sought opportunities to practice how to speak with people. He joined an online language exchange group, initially terrified. His heart pounded before every video call. He could barely string sentences together, often resorting to simple yes or no answers, feeling incredibly self-conscious about his halting delivery. Yet, he persisted. He realized everyone in the group was there to learn, and mistakes were not only acceptable but expected. This environment was key for his English talking practice. He learned to forgive his own errors, focusing instead on getting his message across, however imperfectly it might sound at first. The critical advice he received was to listen and practice. He spent equal time listening to his partners, absorbing their phrasing, and then attempting to replicate similar structures in his own responses. This cyclical approach became his fundamental way of learning English, reinforcing new patterns. He began consciously working on how to think and speak directly in English. Instead of translating from his native language, he tried to formulate simple thoughts directly in English. For example, labeling objects around him in English, or mentally narrating his day's activities using only English vocabulary. This internal monologue was awkward at first, a clumsy dance of incomplete sentences and missing words. But it was a vital step in how to improve your English. It forced his brain to operate within the English framework, slowly building neural pathways for direct communication without the intermediate translation step slowing him down. He also started recording himself. Playback was painful initially, highlighting every hesitation and mispronunciation. Yet, it was an invaluable English talking practice tool. He could objectively identify areas for improvement, like specific vowel sounds or sentence rhythm, truly understanding his own speaking patterns. His language partners were patient and encouraging. They offered gentle corrections, which he welcomed. He learned immensely from hearing how other people talk in English in natural, unscripted conversations. These authentic interactions provided insights far beyond any textbook exercise he had ever encountered before. The importance of regular English talking practice became undeniably clear. Even short, daily sessions were more effective than infrequent, long ones. Consistency was the silent secret to unlocking fluency. He dedicated specific times each day, making it a non-negotiable part of his learning routine. He learned how to take first step for talking in various situations, starting with simple greetings, asking for directions, ordering food. Small interactions built his confidence. Each successful brief conversation was a small victory, reinforcing that he could indeed speak, even if imperfectly, when he truly tried. Reading continued to be his silent partner in this journey. Why reading is so important became evident as his vocabulary expanded exponentially. New words and phrases he encountered in books started appearing naturally in his spoken English, enriching his discussions and making him sound more articulate and refined. He diversified his English talking practice methods. He joined an English-speaking book club, forcing himself to discuss complex topics. He even tried stand-up comedy open mic nights, sharing short, prepared anecdotes. This pushed him far outside his comfort zone, but yielded incredible results in overcoming anxiety. He focused on specific aspects of how to speak with people effectively, learning common conversational fillers, politeness markers, and discourse connectors made his speech sound more natural and less robotic. He studied how native speakers smoothly transition between different subjects in everyday interactions. Gradually, the mental translation process began to fade. He started spontaneously formulating sentences in English without conscious effort. This was a monumental leap in how to think and speak. His thoughts began to directly manifest as English words, a seamless connection finally established within his mind. He noticed how other people talk in English in different contexts, formal, informal, professional. He adapted his speech accordingly, understanding the nuances of register and tone. This adaptability was a key indicator of his growing fluency and refined his overall communication skills significantly. His confidence soared. He no longer dreaded social situations where English was spoken. Instead, he actively sought them out, eager to engage. His English talking practice had transformed from a chore into an enjoyable, rewarding experience, showcasing the true power of persistent effort. He became an advocate for listening and practice. He encouraged others struggling with English to embrace both active listening and consistent speaking. He knew from personal experience that these two pillars formed the unbreakable foundation for language mastery, leading directly to fluency. The best way to learn English, he concluded, was not a single method but a combination of many. It was about relentless exposure, brave attempts, and constant self-correction. It was a holistic approach that touched upon every facet of language acquisition and personal courage. He understood that how to improve your English was an ongoing process, not a destination. There would always be new vocabulary, new idioms, and new cultural contexts to explore. He embraced this continuous learning journey with enthusiasm and a profound sense of accomplishment. His original fear of taking the first step for talking seemed like a distant memory now. He often shared his journey, emphasizing that the initial leap of faith, however small, was the most crucial part. Breaking the silence was the true beginning of all progress and development. He advised prioritizing speaking over perfection. Many learners get stuck trying to formulate flawless sentences, leading to paralysis. He learned that even imperfect speech communicates, and continuous speaking is the fastest way of learning English, building confidence and refining skills organically. He also focused on connecting words smoothly, reducing pauses, and using appropriate stress. This attention to prosody made his English sound more natural, moving beyond just correct grammar to fluent, native-like delivery. These subtle adjustments greatly enhanced his overall communication effectiveness. The importance of context and understanding how other people talk in English became evident. He paid attention to body language, facial expressions, and situational cues. These nonverbal elements often conveyed as much meaning as the words themselves, enhancing his comprehension significantly. He discovered that engaging with native speakers was the best way to learn English slang and idiomatic expressions. Textbooks could teach grammar, but real conversations revealed the vibrant, living language. These interactions made his English feel truly authentic and current. Reading challenging materials, even slightly beyond his comfort zone, proved invaluable. It expanded his passive vocabulary, which eventually became active. Why reading is so important for long-term fluency became clearer with every complex sentence he successfully deciphered and understood. He realized that his journey was a testament to patience and perseverance. There were days of frustration, moments of doubt, but he never gave up on his English talking practice. Each small effort accumulated, building towards his remarkable achievement over time. He began to teach others how to take first step for talking, sharing his strategies for overcoming shyness. His advice was practical. Start with low-stakes interactions, find a patient partner, and focus on simple exchanges before attempting complex debates or discussions. For him, how to think and speak in English became second nature. He could process information and formulate responses almost instantly, without the laborious mental translation that once plagued him. This fluidity was a clear sign of true linguistic immersion and mastery. He often told new learners to embrace mistakes as learning opportunities. Mistakes are proof that you are trying, he'd say. This mindset shift was paramount for continuous English talking practice and prevented discouragement from derailing progress, fostering resilience. His way of learning English evolved from rigid rules to flexible, adaptive methods. He understood that what worked for one person might not work for another. He encouraged experimentation to find personalized strategies that best suited individual learning styles and preferences. He emphasized that listening and practice must be continuous, like breathing. One informs the other in an endless loop of improvement. The more you listen, the more you have to practice, and the more you practice, the more effectively you can listen and comprehend. He started to notice subtle regional accents and dialects within English, further refining how other people talk in English. This deepened his appreciation for the diversity of the language and made him a more perceptive listener in various global contexts. For advanced learners, he stressed the importance of reading diverse genres: poetry, technical papers, historical texts. This breadth of reading solidified his understanding of academic and specialized vocabulary, enriching his overall linguistic repertoire. He also joined debates and public speaking groups. This was the ultimate English talking practice, forcing him to structure arguments, think on his feet, and respond persuasively. It honed his ability to articulate complex ideas clearly and concisely, a very high-level skill. The mental barrier he once felt between thinking and speaking completely dissolved. His thoughts flowed directly into spoken words, without any noticeable delay. This seamless transition was the culmination of all his efforts in learning how to think and speak effectively. He frequently revisited fundamental grammar rules, not to get bogged down, but to ensure accuracy. This balance between fluidity and precision was key to how to improve your English beyond conversational competency to a more sophisticated and precise level. He found immense joy in the small victories, understanding a complex joke, participating in a fast-paced discussion, or even simply correcting his own mistakes in real time. These moments fueled his motivation and reinforced his progress. His journey illustrated that the best way to learn English is deeply personal, yet follows universal principles. Consistency, bravery, and a genuine desire to communicate were far more important than any specific textbook or application, leading to sustained progress. He now regularly conversed with people from all over the world, discussing a vast array of topics. His initial fear of how to speak with people transformed into genuine excitement for cross-cultural communication and understanding different perspectives. The power of why reading is so important became an undeniable truth in his life. Reading opened up entire worlds of knowledge and enriched his vocabulary in ways that pure conversation alone could not achieve, providing depth to his language skills. Alex became a beacon of hope for aspiring English learners. He proved that even the most timid individual could achieve fluency through dedication and the right way of learning English. His story was a living example of linguistic transformation and success. He encouraged everyone to find their unique voice in English, to not imitate others exactly, but to integrate their own personality into their spoken language. Authenticity was crucial for genuine connection in any form of communication. He emphasized that English talking practice should be enjoyable. If it feels like a chore, you won't stick with it. Find topics you're passionate about, engage with media you love, and practice with people you enjoy spending time with. His advice on how to take first step for talking was simple. Start small, start now. Don't wait for perfection. Just open your mouth and let the words come out, even if they're hesitant. Action beats procrastination every single time. The process of how to improve your English is cyclical. Learn, practice, receive feedback, refine, repeat. It's a continuous loop of growth and adaptation. Every stage offers new insights and opportunities for further enhancement. Alex, once silent, now spoke with clarity, confidence, and connection. His journey demonstrated that consistent effort, diverse practice, and overcoming fear are truly the best way to learn English. He finally found his powerful voice,